All right, so Video Barbershop version 1.2.6 features some new buttons here in the video transform control. You'll see these new buttons both in the video control as well as the clip override specific control. But what these do are they're little helpful tools to help you adjust the scale of your video based upon your exporting needs. Now, let me show you an example of the stretch to fit button and when you'd want to use that. I've got this commercial, this tab commercial, that was taken from a VHS tape that was 640 by 480, 4:3 aspect ratio. However, it was captured with SoundBeast capture device in its high resolution setting, in which it upscales it and puts it into a 16:9 ratio. However, what it does is it stretches it. And a common technique for making VHS tape look better is to have a device upscale it, but then to go back and scale it back down and compress it back down to its original size and format, kind of unblurring it, if you will. So what this does is it allows you to set your new aspect ratio. And as you can see, like by default, what my app does by default is it widescreens it for you. No matter what your content is, whatever you export it to, it will effectively widescreen the content so that you see your entire content. It'll scale it to whatever the new resolution difference is, and it'll fit it within the new aspect ratio. In this case, it was a very wide video, so it kind of scaled it down, and you see the barring up at the top and bottom of it. Now, for this video specifically, like I said, I want to stretch it out and fit it into that new aspect ratio, and that's a single click right there. It calculates it based upon what you're doing, what sizes you've got, and that's it. You're done. You can go ahead and export it. You've now got your high resolution video brought back down to the correct aspect ratio in the original aspect or the original resolution. Real fast and easy and nice. It was a real pain to have to try to figure that out before, because like I said, a 1-to-1 scale by default is widescreening it and scaling it and making it fit. So to get those numbers right, you could kind of eyeball it and be like, that's good enough, but it wasn't exactly correct. Now this button will actually calculate the correct remapping and orientation for you. And, we could do some fun stuff here. There's some different resolutions. Let's do, actually, it looks like it's off screen, but I have portrait versions, for kind of HD portrait you might do for like Instagram or TikTok. You can see by default, again, by default it widescreens it. In this case, it's incredibly extreme. Stretch to fit, as you can see, is truly stretching and fitting inside whatever your new your new resolution and aspect ratio is. In this case, it's making it even worse, but so that's stretch to fit. It's great for especially VHS converting from upscaled sources. Now, original size. Let me show you here with this one. So I'm going to use this extreme example again as the the case to show off original size. This is actually, let me get the clip here so we get our export controls. But this is a 640 by 480 video fitting into, widescreening, quote unquote, and scaling up and fitting into this portrait high definition. You see this a lot on Instagram or TikTok. People throw in text so it doesn't look so empty in here. But original size, what it does is it undoes that scaling and just keeps your original content in its original pixel, size, and makes it relative to your new format. So in this case, the width is 1080. In this case, it's 640, so it's nearly half. Now you can use these anchor points to anchor your video in any of these orientations. By default, you have it here in the center, but it will keep the original video size relative to your new output. Now, if this is 640, if we do half, I'm going to make this old school, early 90s or late 90s video streaming kind of resolution. It's scaled it down so the commercial totally fits. It's the same aspect ratio. But if I set original size, you can see it's the pixel information is much larger. It's twice as much. So, and again, you can use these anchors to anchor into those various corners, of the video. But it is preserving the actual size of the original content within your new, export. So that's what this button is. Now, full screen. Let's switch over to this 720 by 480 version. Now, by default, again, it letterboxes it. The export resolution that I was doing here, that I'm working with, let's do 640 by 480. So let's say I've got this slightly wider 3 by 2 that I actually want to put into a 4 by 3. You can see the letterboxing going on. Full screen, what this is basically the opposite of the widescreen default, and you can think of it exactly in the terms of taking a movie or a video and converting it onto a VHS tape or a DVD, in which the movie would either be widescreened or it would be full screened. So full screen will stretch your content so that it fits into the full video space of your video, but it'll crop the edges that are missing, and exactly like the difference between a full screen movie and a widescreen movie. And so you can see the widescreen would do that. The full screen, it's cropping it. And again, you can use the anchor points to go into those sides. Now, it's the same height as, both of these are the same height. So the corner buttons aren't doing anything. It all fits within it, but it's the top and bottom, not top and bottom, the side to side that gets cropped out. So you can see, depending on what you're doing side to side, there's just a little bit extra here and just a little bit extra here on that, but it's fitting it within it. As you can see, it's much more obvious with the difference here when you do a full screen version of this commercial. Let's do here. You can see I'm gonna go right up to the middle of his big manly chest and you can see the bag that she's holding right here is right up on the edge. Now if I go back to its original let's widescreen it so you can see. So that's what's getting cropped off here, and this is what's getting cropped off here by going full screen. But those are the presets that allow you to do these calculations automatically without you needing to bust out a piece of paper and a pencil, figure it out. Now, actually, let's do something fun here. Let's take this video. So it's 640 by 480, but let's say we want to put this on Instagram. I'm going to do a very extreme 16 by 9 HD. It's effectively 1080p, but portrait mode. And so we're going to take this video and we're going to do a full screen so that it fits into that profile. It's getting cropped off the edges, but it's pretty extreme. There's this guy walking on the porch there. Let's actually track his position. So I want a clip. Let's take a clip of him walking across the porch. We'll just do the, we'll work with this clip specifically. But I want to track him. And so to track under your clip tool for the transform, you can use keyframing. And so right off the bat, I want to keyframe this. I'm going to play with these offsets to kind of shift this around. So I want him in the center. Let's start him in the center. And so, with this offset, it's a negative offset. But what it's basically doing is it's shifting the video. The viewport stays in place, but what you're doing is you're shifting the video over to one side, or shifting it up or down with the Y offset. But I've shifted the X over so that he's basically centered here, and I'm going to keyframe that now. And whoop, oh, there's some. Let's see. Oh. Interesting. I had to select this to get this to activate it. Oh, does it not want to? Oh, that's right. I totally forgot. I have it so that you can't actually keyframe the very first frame. By default, that is when you click adding a keyframe, it automatically creates a keyframe in the first frame. So what I actually want to do, once I remember what my real tools that I created do. So he's technically centered there, but as it continues, he kind of goes off center. The camera doesn't pick up on him, doesn't follow him very well, right? So I'm gonna say right there is actually where I want to keyframe. So from here to here, he's pretty much center now. So we've got that. And then from here to here, he goes off. So now at this point, I want to create a new keyframe at this point. But now that I have keyframe 3 selected, I can shift it even more. Whoop, other direction. I can shift it even more and get him aligned once again. And so now we can see that it tracks him fairly well. Could make some little adjustments here. Let's really get him center. So yeah, there we go. So now we're kind of panning and centering on with him. So you can do the pan and scan if you ever have like a widescreen video that you're going to crop into a smaller aspect ratio and full screen it, and then you can use this keyframe system and pan and scan the video around in your video transform to maintain your position. Just remember that you can't actually keyframe the very first frame. By default, it really is keyframed when you add your first original keyframe. It'll create 2. It'll create 1 at the beginning and 1 there. So that's a lot of the fun new things you can do with these buttons. It's quick and easy to export and convert the video into your own pipeline. So just remember that this is in beta. There are little bugs you'll come across, but you can join the beta for free on Apple's test flight system. You can download it and send me feedback, and let me know if you find any bugs or if this is confusing with the keyframes like I was confused and I made it. Maybe I'll do something about that. But the link is in the description of the YouTube channel. Please download it, play with it, Send me some feedback. I'm hoping to ship this fairly soon. I really appreciate you taking the time, watching this video, and especially sending me feedback and using this app. All right, take care.